Welcome to day 5 of Hot Rod Drag Week, presented by Gear Vendors. Just thought I'd throw that in there for some reason. It feels official. It's kind of sad the week is over. I mean, all the racing and stuff. This is the last day.
We're not to the track yet. We got 30 miles.
And you're worried about being jinxed. I get it. But you jinxed us as soon as we left the first track. Oh, this is a breeze. We got this in the bag or something like that. I'm like, brother. And then what happened? We get in the rush hour traffic that day, and it's like overheat. So we made it. It's very early. Probably still in the 6 o'clock hour, maybe or 7.
7:15.
Yeah, so this is like the 5th day in a row I've seen the sunrise, and I'm not an early riser, so that says a lot about how much I care about these type of events and how hard I push myself to do it, even at my advanced stage. We're going to fuel up here and hit the last 30 miles of driving, get to the track early, hopefully get a good pit spot, and let the program sort itself out. Tune in. We'll see if we set a new record today. We've got a couple of ideas. One of my buddies who couldn't be here was mad at me for not racing 5 times a day, and then I said, I'm going to go for it on the first one. He goes, don't do that. Play it safe now. I'm like, what? You want me to blow my engine up 3 days ago, but now that I'm here, I got to play it safe. So I'm going to listen to him, throw the safety out there, and then we're going to throw it out. And if I run a number where I can't turn it in for going 150, then so be it. But I hope to have something to keep us in second place. After spending too long at the gas station for a bad pump, we're on the road. Straight at the sun. But I wouldn't trade this for any other day at the office, that's for sure. And if you're a person that's on the fence about doing one of these events, do it. Get out in your car, enjoy it. Take a buddy or two with you. Take your spouse, one of your kids, whatever. Just get out there and road trip it. Have a good time. And another way to gather attention, the car now all of a sudden does not want to go into reverse or park. So right now, we are in a spot with this little hammer in front of the tire. We're going to get the car in the air and have a look, see what's going on. Pretty bizarre. I'm not a huge fan of these transmission blankets because they're such a pain, but what we noticed when we couldn't get reverse or park out of this car is that the bolts weren't in the bracket. Opened up the blanket a little bit more and boom, both of them fell out. Matt has the other one right now to go match up an Allen head to it, or an Allen wrench, but we're going to put the bracket back on. Hopefully that's all it is. They're kind of short, so maybe I need a little bit longer bolt. Maybe I won't do that again, but either way, it's the last day. If we can get that in there, hopefully the threads aren't all mauled up from driving around. If we need a longer bolt, I guess we'll go get one. We'll see what happens.
works here at Drag Week. Street Machine Eliminator lanes close in 5 minutes. 5 minutes for Street Machine Eliminator. And once you're done, get your time slips in quickly. Big Block Bob is on the starting line with his wintergreen 1972 Nova. Martin Villeneuve back for his third lap. I think he might be looking for a 9 just to say that he did it, but that's not going to happen because junk just fell out. The Nova is going to go
Big Block
9:23 at 1:48.
Big Block Bob's car runs pretty hard, man. I was down on the ground and watched it the other day, you know, and you guys were talking about the wintergreen or frost green color and everything, but you know, it don't got to be pretty. You know what I'm saying? And that thing really does run very hard.
I don't mind it. Loans is the guy who was going, you know, Wrigley's on that thing.
He had his GoPro on the fender to try to capture the lane that the lane on the other lane, and as it drove past me, I kind of leaned down into it. So when he reviews all this footage, he's gonna see me with his GoPro.
Okay.
There it is. Another 920, pretty good 920, 923, 148 and change. Very happy with that. I decided before I came here, before we had the trouble with the shifter, I was thinking, okay, I'm going to go for a new best and really push it. Maybe even put the other jets in it, whatever. After making that run, though, I'm thinking to myself, you know, that 60 was about as good as the car's 60s. And it's getting hotter. We're kind of just sitting out in the sun. We don't have my canopy because it's over with the truck. We didn't take it on the trip. We're just sitting in the middle of an asphalt parking lot kind of baking, and I'm like, you know what? The track probably isn't going to be there. I know I'm going to have an opportunity later in the fall to make that record run. Why risk it right now when I know I have a much better chance at the home track? And let's go ahead and maybe call it a day. And then, I don't know, 5-10 minutes later, I'd look at Matt and I said, you know what? Let's make an NA run. Let's see what the difference is between an all-motor run and a nitrous pass in this car. So I can move the timing. That doesn't take much time. What I couldn't do, though, before I got back in the lanes, before they might do the C&D guys, is to go ahead and change all the plugs. So we're going to leave the cold plug, the NGK 11s, which is probably a little colder than I need for the shot of nitrous I'm using, but I wanted to play it safe with that on this trip. I actually get paired with a guy who's leading the big block naturally aspirated class. So it's interesting to see how I stack up against him. We're going to roll it. Let's see how I do. Had a little situation where I realized that I was missing this piece.
So you didn't quite blow the doors off, but you blew the trim off.
Right. Which usually it'll break here in the middle. This is kind of a new deal here.
Like I said, 737 or 186.
Really, 148 was the tipping point.
I've been 148 before.
Oh.
Maybe it already had the tweak and I had pushed it back in. I don't know.
The run that he's been looking for, as it turns out.
All right.
Well, that's a first. We lost the window trim on the driver's side. Usually it just kind of unclips itself in the center there where they overlap. This time, though, it must have gone a step further than that. All right, so we make our second run. Now we know it's going to be a pretty long day between the other classes, the Street Machine Eliminator stuff. We decide we're going to go to Buckeye Lake and have lunch. We're just going to leave the track. I've already turned in my slip. I was content with the first slip. We've locked in our average. We're going to go have lunch. We're going to relax for the rest of the day. I kind of regret that, though. As the day wore on, you know, I was worried about how the track might go away and it was going to get hotter. I'm watching the number 3 guy in my class really beat on his car hard because the guy he thought he was fighting for the 3rd place spot, he thought it was a lot tighter. So he's kind of just round and round with it. And he probably didn't need to, but this track doesn't have the app, so you don't really know what the other guy ran. And if he's being coy, if you didn't watch it, you have no idea what he ran. So he's kind of beating on his car pretty good, but the weather starts to turn around. As it gets to the end of the day, because I think it runs till 6, the temperatures kind of come back down. And honestly, I think if I just would have waited for the last half hour, I probably could have had a new best. We have a little day 5 bonus coverage here. Bryant Goldstone was feverishly trying to replace his transmission in the pits. We catch a little bit of that action, and we're going to catch his hero pass to end day 5, Hot Rod Drag Week 2024. Let's check it out.
It's kind of a magnet for center line block yesterday, but hopefully today's better. In fact, today has been better.
This is where the movie version of this goes to slow-mo, that music, that dramatic music.
All right, Bryant Goldstone did it. He runs in the 650s, well over 200, and he has sealed the deal. He will be the number 1 guy here at Hot Rod Drag Week 2024. Why did I pack it up? I probably shouldn't have done that, but I did. We're going to have to live with it. And there are a couple of dates on the calendar already for the home track where I think I've got an opportunity to hit that 8. So we'll see what goes on with that coming up. But we're going to go ahead and check out the award.
Big block power adder. Number 3 with an average of 952 with an 8. Kyle Bowles, the 67 Chevy Camaro. And number 2, Secret Big Block Power Adder with a 927. Big Block Bob in the 72 Wintergreen Chevy Nova.
It's like being backstage at the Oscars. This is the unglamorous part where you walk up for the award.
Good job.